Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So I just wanted to preface this video before we start. So feel free to skip to the meat of the video using the chapters in the comments/description box below. And so without further ado, here are some disclaimers before I start the video. So first, most of the numbers that I'm going to mention in this video were actual expenses. And I will include screenshots or screen recordings for proof that I've already spent as of July 2024. And the expected expenses that I will be mentioning are the sources will be stated in the description of the video as well as in the video itself. So please note that this video is explaining the base expense for ECFMG certification and the USMLE fees. So the numbers that will be calculated won't include other expenses that will come with getting these certifications and exams done, such as translator fees, traveling fees, other fees to get papers processed and all of that, because that's kind of dependent on which country you're coming from and your medical school as well. And so also note that I'm going to be touching on expenses for residency applications using the estimates from official websites. And so look for the links in the description box and in the eye above. So the expenses calculated don't include my medical school tuition fees and other miscellaneous expenses that were required for me to get my degree and process some school and professional licensing documents. So flights back and forth to the US and traveling for USCE and other things like that. Again, because they depend on your circumstances and it won't be applicable to all IMGs, will not be included in calculations of this expense in this video. And so once everything is done for me, meaning once I get into a residency program in the far future, hopefully not too far in the future, I'll post an updated video on how much I actually spent altogether to apply to residency in the United States, including a breakdown of how much I spent for medical school, living expenses, other fees I had to pay, flights that I took, etc., etc. And one last thing, I'm going to be using a lot of acronyms in this video, as well as some specific terms, so please refer to the description box if there are any terms that you're not familiar with. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started on the meat of this video, the reason why you clicked this video. Let's go. So this is what the financial account summary looks like on your Oasis account. And I'm going to go ahead and break down each of these charges just so that you can have an idea of what these numbers are. So starting with the first $160, that's the initial fee that you need to send to the ECFMG so that they could process your medical school records. That will be sent by your medical school to the ECFMG, and it'll basically confirm that you are indeed enrolled or graduated from that medical school, so you can start your ECFMG/USMLE processing. And so the next charge on here is $2,000, and this was for setting an eligibility period to take the USMLE Steps 1 and 2 CK. This also includes the fee for the exam, so all in all, it's $1,000 for each exam, so it's $2,000 for that charge. And so I have $100 charge here, and this was because I had to extend my eligibility period for Step 2 CK. And for more information about why I ended up having to do that, please refer to my video. It's called Mistakes I Made While Prepping for Step 2 CK. And so the next charge of $165 is for the ERAS token. And then the $80 here is for the RCAS access for OBGYN applications. So if you're not applying to OBGYN, you don't have to pay this. You'd only have to pay $165. Or as well, if you're not going to purchase an ERAS token, if you're not thinking about soaping or applying to other specialties, you'd only have to pay $165 for the RCAS access. And so all in all, I spent so far $2,505. That's not including the fee for processing the actual ECFMG certificate, which is $925, and not including the fee for step 3, which is another $925. So again, you'll find this on the financial account summary tab on your Oasis. All right, so next we're going to be looking up the ERAS application fees per application. So you can just Google this. It'll show you on this table on their website that for the first 30 applications, it's $11 each. And for 31 or more applications, it's $30 each. And so next I'm going to be showing you how the RCAS does their fees. And so we'd go to their website here. Oh, wrong website. Go back to the application fee calculator, which is right there. Sorry. There it is. So basically it's another table similar to the ERAS one. And so I'll shift over to my Excel sheet where I did the calculations for OBGYN. And so as you can see here, there is a fixed rate of $99 for the first 18 applications you send through RCAS. For applications number 19 through 30, it's $18 per application. And therefore for applications 31 and above, it's $23 per application. I know it says for the next 70, but I meant for the next 20. Sorry about that. So basically, if you do the math, the first 18 is $99 plus the next 12 times $18 per application, which is $216. And so you get 99 plus 216. And then if you do 50 programs, which means for the applications above 30, so say 20 more applications, it's going to be $23 per application. And so that's $460. And so if you add all of those three values up, plus the fixed rate of $80 for the USMLE fees, then it's going to be $855. Now, if you do the same calculations, but this time for 100 programs, it shows at the bottom there that it's $2,005 for 100 programs. Now, if you're confused or intimidated by all of this math, like I showed earlier, the RCAS website has its own downloadable Excel file that you can just plug in the number of programs you want to apply to, and it'll give you a value for how much you'd pay for that number of programs. And if you want to do a similar calculation for the ERAS applications, you just use a similar method on your own Excel sheet using the ERAS values that were shown again previously from their ERAS website. So I hope that made sense, and we'll move on to the conclusion of this video. All right, so all in all for my case, I'm looking at an expected expense of $7,285 for my ECFMG certification, my USMLE exam fees, my residency applications for OBGYN, with the intention of doing soap. I'm not sure how much it'll cost to soap all in all yet, but as of now, this is how much I'm expected to spend. I'm really hoping that I don't have to soap though, that I do end up matching into an OBGYN program, but who knows what'll happen in the future. And if it does happen that I need to do the soap, then I will include that in my update video once I make it in the future. All right, for a more generalized number, because not all IMGs are going to be applying for OBGYN, and a vast majority are going to be using the ERAS application only, this is your breakdown of numbers. So $5,180 for your ECFMG certificate, including the USMLE steps 1, 2, and 3 fees. assuming that you won't need any extensions for your eligibility period. So make sure that you plan your eligibility periods well. For more information about what I did and how I made a mistake on my eligibility periods, please watch the video that I made on my step 2 mistakes. I'll link it somewhere up here. Okay, and so that's $5,180 plus $2,430 if you are going to be applying for 100 programs on ERAS. And so your total, if you're going to include the ECFMG, the USMLEs, and then the residency applications, is you're looking at around $7,610. Again, these calculations are just base fees for getting your ECFMG certificate and getting all 3 of your steps done as of 2024. So fees are always subject to change because of inflation, policy changes, and all of that stuff. Also, this doesn't include how much you're already spent / will spend on medical school tuition, your USCEs, your travel, living expenses, and any other fees that you might need for visa application if you need a visa, and processing your documents in your home country, and all of that stuff. So obviously, this is a very expensive process, and I made this video in the hopes that it'll give IMGs or people considering to be an IMG some idea of how much you're going to be spending just for this part of their medical career. So in the future, I hope that once I get into a residency program, I'll be able to make a breakdown using estimates of how much I have spent throughout my entire medical school career to get my degree, to pass the board exams in the Philippines, pass the USMLEs, and apply to residency. And so hopefully this video was very helpful to you. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel for more, and follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I'm not super active on TikTok. I'm trying, but I'm more active on Instagram and on YouTube. So it's the same username at JMSS_MD_IMG. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.